Oh, baby, what a Wednesday, a Warriors Wednesday. Brought to you by Freedman's Appliance, a trusted name in the Bay Area since 1922. Visit freedmansappliance.com today. Also, 95.7 The Game, shop.com. Alex in Atlanta just bought a Money Time sweatshirt. How about that? Money Time! You can get yours right now at 95.7 The Game, shop.com. And you got the Purdy shirts as well. You got the Purdy shirts.
And we got Shawn.
And we got
his
Shawn
father.
Purdy. I mean, Brock Purdy could do no wrong. So I wonder what Father Purdy's doing. Mr. Purdy, Shawn Purdy on the morning roast right now as his son has been absolutely balling in the last 5 games. Of course, came in the Miami game to replace Jimmy Garoppolo. And all he's done since then is throw 10 touchdown passes and only 3 interceptions, store for over 1,000 yards. Brock Purdy has the Niners humming right now as the number 2 seed in the NFC. Shawn, good morning. Welcome to the roast. Joe Zaskin, the Butcher, and Bonte Hill. How you doing today, sir?
Good. Good morning to you guys. Thanks for having me on.
No, I'm not going to lie to you, Shawn. After the last preseason game, I kind of went off about your son and said, man, if Brock Purdy's playing for the 49ers, this is going to be a lost season. I said that. I'll admit it. I can't duck from it. And so I'm going to say right now, here on January 4th, 2023, I did not expect to be talking to you on the radio show after your son is basically taking this league and this region by storm. And December 4th, I want to go back to a story that you brought up. You were at a swap meet in Mesa, Arizona on a Sunday afternoon. You're running your company, fantastic pools and spas, and a booth across from you had a TV on with World Cup matches in the middle of the day. And after 2 p.m., the World Cup ended. And, of course, Miami and San Francisco hit the screen. You made your way over to the man at the booth after the game was already in progress. The man asked you something about the game, and you explained, hey, my son's a quarterback for the 49ers. He's number 13. And then at that time, you showed the TV set, and at that moment, you realized that your son was in the football game. How surreal was that to see that all of a sudden you're talking about him, and he's coming in against Miami Dolphins, leading the Niners to a big win?
Well, it's a neighbor that works out there, and he knows the kids. He's seen them all growing up and coming out at my work, and I thought it would be cool for him, because our excitement is just seeing Brock on the sideline. So I was like, hey, you might see Brock on TV. So we turned it on, and I'm like, hey, there he is right there. And he's like, why is he looking at that tablet? And I go, well, he's just, he goes over the plays with the quarterbacks in between. And I go, oh, my gosh. And I saw Jimmy drive by, and I said, Dave, I think Brock's going in, man. And, my hands got sweaty, and I was like, oh, man. And so it all just unfolded right there, and it was very surreal. I couldn't believe it.
Shawn, we hear from a lot of parents, every industry, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, music, whether it's acting. I knew that my son was destined or daughter to be something from day one. Honestly, did you think your son was going to have an opportunity to play in the NFL? Like, just forget being the starting quarterback for the Niners, leading them to the top spot. Like, just play in the NFL.
Well, I know that Brock was never going to give up, regardless of the things that, people have said. And, you're not big enough, you're too small or whatever. And I knew that Brock was going to give it his all. And, he just, he's got his faith in God. And he has always had his faith in himself. And, I just always tell the kids, give it your all, and you'll sleep well the rest of your life with no regrets. And that's just all we were doing. We never put the cart before the horse, and just, be ready. That's our family motto, just be ready. And so I know that all of those things Brock would do and give himself the best chance he could.
So I know, just doing my studying on you guys as a family and him, my cousin lives down in that area, and he says this is one of the best high school football players to ever come out of that region, and I know that you played at the U, and you got drafted into the bigs and things like that. And so did Brock play other sports growing up, or was it always just football?
No, he played baseball, and he was a really good baseball player. He was a shortstop, and he was a pitcher, and he loved it, but just had a passion for football. He used to sit on that coffee table, and he'd have that football under his arm and just saying, just wanting to be in that TV, and just would always say, I'm going to do that one day. And I believed him, So he just loves he's always loved what he's done in in football, and it's just surreal for us to see it unfold right before us, man.
We're talking to Shawn Purdy, the father of Brock Purdy, who's taking this league by storm with the 49ers as they are on a 9-game winning streak. Of course, Brock replaced Jimmy during the Miami Dolphins game, and they have not looked back since then, clinching the NFC West division title for the second time in 4 years. Shawn, what was he like as a kid? Was he a guy who did his chores? Did he play video games? Did he do his homework on time?
Books.
Oh, yeah. Who was Brock Purdy as a kid?
Well, he's what you see. I mean, he was a serious kid. But, when he gets comfortable with people he knows, he's a real funny kid and fun to be around. And he just never, even when he was younger, he doesn't seek out attention. And, we would always tell teachers in school, hey, look, man, if this kid says he didn't do this or whatever, he's not lying. He never liked to get to be in trouble or accused of anything, so he's just always been by the book. And so, we've been blessed to have a child like that. He's been a good boy since he was little, and he's always been an old soul. So
we like old souls around here.
Yeah, he's an old soul is what we would say.
So I'm looking, we've done research, obviously, on Brock Purdy since he's become the quarterback of the 49ers. And I did not know this because I know he was at Iowa State for as long as he was and helping Iowa State win some football games. I did not know Florida State was recruiting him. And why did he spurn? Because I'm a big-time Florida State fan. Why did he spurn the Seminoles? Because it felt like if he went to Florida State, bigger profile than Iowa State, maybe he gets drafted higher in the NFL draft. What was the story there, Shawn?
Well, he was never offered Florida State. His brother was. Okay. That's where Chubba went, his younger brother. So his offers were Alabama, Texas A&M, and UCF, and several others. That came in late. Iowa State, once again, I told you, Brock's an old soul. He thinks differently. And the high school that he went to has really never done anything. And his sister was going there. It was, out of boundaries. And so, I just said, son, you sure you want to go there? Because where you're supposed to go, they went to state the last 2 years. And he goes, no. He goes, that's fine, Dad. He says, we'll go there and turn it around. I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. and that's exactly, what he did. And so Iowa State was the same way. Matt Campbell and him are two peas in a pod. And the way that he recruited Brock is a people person. And he could tell how an authentic coach was. And he got on board with Coach Campbell right from the first phone call. He hit mute and he says, Dad, this is the guy. And I said, okay. And so he wanted to go to Iowa State and create something new. And because he likes to look back, like when I mow my grass, I like to look back and go, wow, look what I just did. And so that's how he felt about Iowa State, is he liked that challenge and he loved the people that were there.
It seems that you guys are just so in lockstep in terms of your outlook on life. And I look at Brock and I see this photo that's been circulating across the internet. It's you holding him up as a kid next to a Dan Marino photo. So were you a Dolphin fan growing up? Take me back to the beginning of that, because him coming in and playing against the Dolphins, I mean, that feels like a cosmic connection. I believe in God. So, I feel like there's something spiritual there.
Well, yes, I'm a diehard Dolphin fan. And the ironic thing is when I played at Miami, Brian Griese's dad used to do radio to just stay in tune, for the upcoming college football season. So he did all our games. And it was such an honor for me to have his dad do that. And but anyways, just a diehard Dolphin fan. And so when I was younger, I used to keep all of I don't know if anybody remembers what a newspaper is. Every Monday, I'd get all Dan Marino's stats and all the pictures and articles and this and that, and that was just my guy, man. And so the day Brock was born, Actually, the Dolphins were playing the Jets, and they lost. But he sat there in the chair with me, and I'm like, hey, this is our team. And, and so he always wore number 13, Dan Marino's number, and so on. And he'd watch the videos and so on. And so not long ago, I said, hey, how many home games you guys got left? And he's like, oh, I think 5. And I said, who we play at home? And he goes, we got the Saints, the Dolphins. I was like, oh, dude. I said, you're going in that game. I go, that's just the way life works.
Wow.
And, just joking.
Yeah.
No doubt.
If you're going to go in, it'll probably be the Dolphins. And then sure enough, man, that's how it unfolded. And Dan Marino was at the stadium.